All right, welcome to the relationship show. This guy writes a post, don't know how to approach girls or even have conversations. He says, hello to everyone from this beautiful community. I am 22 years old, Indian, never had a girlfriend or even a date. I need advice on how to have conversations with girls or how to be more interesting to them. I'm not super tall, I'm 5'7", but have a good number of achievements so far, from sports to academics. But whatever I have tried to talk to women, it always leads to a dead end, with women never again trying to start conversation. Okay, first thing, I would not talk about your achievements. Yeah, it's like initially you think that it's like, oh, if I just like talk about all my achievements, she wants to be with someone who's successful, so I have to prove that I'm successful. But really all you do is you basically display approval seeking behavior. When you do this, it's like you have to prove that you're good, and it almost comes up from a place of feeling like you're not good enough, and at least as far as it communicates that. Even if you don't feel like that and you just have like the pattern of talking about your accomplishments, it's still conveyed in a way that you have to prove yourself to her. When you get into this approval seeking behavior, it doesn't act as masculine as it could be. And so eliminate those for the start. For approaching women, just have a regular conversation. So it's like if you're just going to approach someone cold, I mean, talk about the environment, talk about the weather, talk about what the two of you are doing, talk about the wait time, talk about something she has. Maybe she has like a big bag or something that stands out. Maybe she has like a sports team, some kind of hat or whatever she's got on that has some sports team, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not as much about the words. It's just about breaking that ice and then just having a regular conversation with her and just ask her questions. If she displays signs of interest, so if she's like really engaged in the conversation, it just seems, you get that feeling that's like, well, she seems to be interested in me, then you make a move and be decisive, be direct, decisive, make a definite date right there on the spot or get her number right there on the spot. Another thing, what women often do, especially in like initial contact, is what's like the eye test. So they'll make eye contact with you, and if you look away, it communicates that you're more submissive and not as confident. And so just be aware of that super common one that a lot of women know and a lot of women implement. So it's like when she looks at you right in your eyes, look at her and then don't look away. She must be the one who looks away first. And then once that's really established, then you can kind of do like rapport building stuff if you wanted to go that route. Meaning like matching and mirroring, things along those lines if you wanted. But the main thing is not about all those like little strategies and details. It's about just being present and then just knowing what you want, knowing an outcome, and then approaching the situation where you're seeing if she's attracted. That's your outcome. And so that's kind of your overarching principle. Is she attracted? If yes, bam, make a move, get her number, set a definite date. There was one thing that kind of stopped me in something you wrote here, which was like, they're not getting back to you, never again trying to start conversation. So I'm assuming that you're maybe trying to do like Facebook or social media messages to like break the ice, or you do know their number and you're just texting them and then all of a sudden they just don't really text back. Well, that can be difficult to do. I do have one video on how to, successfully do that. I share an example. I don't know if you can find it, but maybe type in like, I don't know. I'll see if I can put it on in the comments down below that you can check out. But it really helps if you already know the person, if you're just messaging someone cold, because if you message someone cold, like on social media, it often comes across as like, who the heck is this guy? And it usually doesn't work and can have like negative effects. So yeah, I don't know. You're better off approaching people in person. That's probably the highest one, as far as having an initial interest in you. So she has like more things to know about you. It takes more courage to approach someone in person versus just sending them like a message somewhere. And initial attraction is very important. So you want to pick people who have that high level of interest in you from the start, because it's just a bigger margin of safety, and it also can be just more fun. And what I mean by like margin of safety is like if she has a high level interest for you, one, she's going to make her tests easier compared to like someone who just barely has enough interest to go on a date with you. She's probably going to give you some really difficult tests. Which will be tough to pass, or she'll give you things that don't really have a right answer, and then you have to come up with someone. And just like, and also if you make a mistake with someone with high interest, it's like you have some room. If you make a couple mistakes, she might still be attracted to you, versus low interest, one mistake, you're done, kind of deal. It also just flows better when both of you are attracted to each other. So it's like both of you want to be there. So both of you are present fully in that moment, not thinking about other things. It's just a more fun experience to be with someone like that who shares that level of interest. So that's kind of what I would share with you in regards to approaching women, talking to women. Be direct, decisive. Don't talk about like, you might have some trouble like talking about like just innocuous things, like boring things. Have an outcome when you message someone. So say you did get her number. It's like, well, ideally you want to call her up and then, set a definite date once you get her number. But, if there is some kind of text exchange, you don't want to just spend a ton of time just texting. You want to focus on getting her in person. But yeah, have an outcome with each time you initiate the conversation. So know what you want and get that outcome really in as few steps as possible.